Alright, hey guys, what's up? We're back here for another look at Juniper Falls, the back nine. So let's go here, I like to go grabber here. It really stops that ball from rolling out into the water. I'm going to go bronze tee this time, just because we do have a little bit of a headwind. You can also see that I'll go B1. I like to hook this around the mountain and just try to make that bounce land in the fairway here. Now here you can see we create a half decent angle to be able to go with this. Biggest problem here is going to be the distance. It's very tough to get this up the hill. So I'm thinking maybe a super roll, 3-wood, with maybe about here as my alignment. I'll try to go full here on the hook. Really, so just clips the mountain there. So it's going to essentially just take away my opportunity. Very tough to pull that shot off. So really just trying to blast that up there. I need to protect against the water as well. So that's one of the reasons that you could see me getting aggressive and wind up in the off the rock. So 54, 73. Will this sneak up there? It may just make it. I come in a lot since I'm going 4-iron. I'm going to blast this full. It still doesn't get there. I thought it might not. I was hoping that it just snuck up to the front. So if it would have hit that front, it would have rolled out a little bit. We would have been okay. So let's see if I can't play some of this wind. Sometimes what I'll do, 25 yards, let's just do it. So a lot of times I might club up the sand wedge. This is going to let me roll it out a little bit more, take off some of this break. 25 out of 52 typically, give or take. So I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 50% with this shot. And if I would have just played a little bit more break or just had just 1 or 2% more, I would have had a chance. You can see we start off with a par, unfortunately. So let's go here. Not sure that's going to get there. So one of the things that I can do to sneak it there, I can go up to a bronze tee, maybe even a silver if needed. Just trying to figure out how much wind to play here. So let's try this. Looks pretty good. Let's see if it gets there. So you can see, even without needing a grabber there, we were able to get the distance control down. It didn't quite get into great shot territory, but it was close. That's more or less what you want to try to do. This is going to be a tough one. This is a tough wind here. I'm thinking driver. I would probably have to go Maniac's ball if we want to get there. Similarly, I believe I'm going to need at least a bronze tee, maybe even a silver. So let's go silver. Just try to blast this, see what it looks like. We're going to try to hit this opening maybe just to the right of the hole. May just come in just a little bit. So we do need to land to the right of the hole here to keep this sucker on the green. And sure enough, there it is. It stays up on there too. So all in all, pretty good. It really makes me question that par on the first and also not getting the great shot on 11. Those were two really good opportunities there to put together possibly a 3-star campaign. Now I know points are going to be probably pretty important here. So I'm going to maybe just blast this one down here. You can see we get the wind. Sometimes what I'll do, instead of going for the layup shot there to the right, I'll try to blast this down. This is going to get me 34 points as opposed to like 250 points. So I kind of, earn myself a 9 extra points going this way. Does make it just a little bit more awkward. Should be able to get around the mountain here, though, with a B1 shot. So that's more or less what I'm thinking. So into this headwind, we're probably going to go with the wood. It's going to make it land nice and soft. 13 wind in the face. I'm thinking at least 25 yards of play just in that wind, plus just a little bit uphill, maybe 35 yards. I'm thinking 35 yards already just for all that stuff, which means I'm going to come in on this percentage-wise, but not very much. I'm going to come in probably about 5-10%, 5-8%, somewhere in there. Looks pretty good. 1 or 2 less percent would have been ideal. But you got to factor in that wind. You know, it's very intense. 20-25 miles per hour for that yardage. It's going to take off, plus a little bit of the uphill. So that's kind of the way that I'm working through that shot. I'm thinking 30, 35 or 40 yards shorter than what that yardage said. Put me at right around 200. And I just needed to take off just a little bit to get to the 189 that it had for me. So again, same thing here. This wind, very intense. So we are going to club up significantly. You know, I'm thinking at least 30 yards for that wind. This might barely sneak there. So I'm thinking if I want to go forward, which I kind of do because I don't want to club up and hit a percentage shot. If I want to get this there, I would imagine I'd have to tee up. So either bronze or silver, 270. That's going to put me at about plus, what is that, 43 yards? And this might barely get there. And this is a tight pin. You can't land short here. So you have to... you have to consider that in your decision making here. If I come up 2 yards short, it's not enough. So I almost want to go silver here just to be on the safe side. Let's just see if it gets there. Oh, it did. And I'm going to get the great shot points. Would have been nicer if it was in there a little bit tighter. But, this is one step more towards. So if I would have got that great shot on 11, which it was very close to happening, very good chance that we could have still salvaged this and maybe got a 3-star campaign. So let's keep rolling along here. Maybe we can pick up one more eagle somewhere, because that's probably what we're going to need. At least an eagle. And then it still might be tight. It's going to be tight on that 19 number. So, oh man, that's a tough pin. I'm thinking about going super backspin here because I need to get this one in here close. Absolutely must. It's not really going to want to come back at all. So 183 out of 162, that's probably going to be pretty close straight up. The wind's going to put it in there a little bit long. So I'm thinking maybe somewhere around here because I need to play right 5. Just going to make it break considerably. So I'm going to take off a couple percent here. Oh, get up in there. Jeez. Just needed a couple more percent. You can see that I'm just trying to really force in these balls into this zone. If I can just get the distance control down, we can get this 3-star campaign here. So that's more or less what I'm trying to do. Should I risk it here and go bronze? I'm thinking I'm going to. Hopefully I can keep this out of the sand. We're going to go B3. That's what I like to do. Hopefully keep it out of that bunker. So it didn't roll down the hill, which is nice. So we keep it up on high ground, 220. Maybe come at this with a wood. It's a very tough wind. I typically don't use the grabbers. But I'm really on the fence about using a grabber here, because I'm worried. I'm worried about my distance here. And I really need to keep this out to the left, to the right, because it really breaks hard. So you're going to see that my alignment might be to the right of the hole. I got to get this distance control down now. So I'm thinking about coming in on the percentage. The tailwind should help to keep this from backspinning into the water, I'm hoping. That's my goal. I'm not sure if I'll be able to execute it, but let's just hope that it does. Maybe just get just a little bit more to the right, just to be on the safe side here. We're going to come in a couple percent. And it did hit the green, and as you can see, it doesn't quite fire down, which is nice. Now I really got to go for this if I want a 3-star campaign. So 33 feet, you can see I'm going to play it just outside the hole. We are going to play it down into the water if this doesn't go in. So you have to... So another thing that you can do technically, you know, we're only in campaign mode, so we can essentially just, you know, waste some mulligans here. If we want to, you know, it sucks having to do this. I was really, you know, I felt like I pulled that, and I pulled it again. So I did the same thing. I feel my alignment is perfect, and I'm essentially just shanking this into the water repeatedly. So I'm trying to come in just a little bit. I think my alignment's fine here. I'm just really just shanking this into the water. So let's do it again. And there it is with a perfect push forward. You know, I could have had it either of those other 2 times. See, this puts us more on line with the great shot points that we already have. You know, it really comes down to that. You know, this would have been a 3-star campaign, mistake-free, if it wasn't just for one putt, potentially. Now, I'm still going to have to execute, make sure that I don't make any mistakes here coming through. So what I would typically do here is go sniper, especially on a back pin. And we are going to need to go 6 wood. I think I can probably go full here. I'm going to try to take this up over the mountain a little bit. Got to make sure. So this is plus 40 yards. I think this is about perfect. So I am just going to kind of blast this right at it, going full. As soon as I get this right where I want it, which is right there. So just a yard or 2 long, maybe 2 or, you know, 1 or a couple percent that I could take off there, about 2%. But you can see that we can just roll this one in, just kind of kill it through the break. And this is a good opportunity for you to go at the green. It's not the best wind. So you really need to kind of almost play for the rough here, which is tough to do. It's hard to hit this rough intentionally. There's not a lot of room for error. But it's going to require a maniac's ball. Is this there? You have to ask yourself, because, and at the same time, you need to make sure that you do hit the rough. If I hit the green, I'm going down into the water. I got to be exact with this distance. So I'm going to play it safe. I'd really like to put a bronze tee on here just to make sure that it gets up on that mountain. But I got to make sure that I don't hit the green. I mean, that's rule number 1 on this shot, is not land on the green. So we are going to just keep off there. Let's just see what this looks like. It's going at it, and still, even the way that it landed, it still rolled through. So it hit that downslope and just couldn't hold up. So distance-wise, we were good there. Now, what I can typically do, I can typically use the chipper up this hill. So I really got to make sure that I stay on the green, though, with this shot. So I'm going to try to play probably a little bit safe rather than sorry. 24 out of 48 is typically 40%, but I'm going to have to go well beyond this because it's so uphill. But I do want to come in a little bit. You're going to see, maybe I'm not quite at 70% here. I'm going to maybe probably release about here because I'd really like to, more so than anything, stay on the green. So I don't want to get too aggressive here, which I don't believe I am. Oh, and you can see it just kind of turd hopped on there, but I mega shanked that anyway. So it really had no chance. Now this is something you can see we're on the green, so we're getting that green in regulation points. And then 39 feet up 4. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of right in here. And then we're just going to break it through, hit this thing pretty full. So just full power here. Just break this one into the cup. Let's just see, that extra 39-foot putt could come into play here if you don't get the eagle. So, I know we're close in terms of point-wise, especially with that par on 1. And as you can see, it just comes up only 18 points shy. So it came solely down. You can see with those great shot points, if you can execute a round like that, this is the hardest side for me to do. And you can see it really takes a lot of discipline. I made that one mistake there. But then alternatively on 10, if we just get a green in regulation there, we got a 3-star campaign. So you got to put all these things together. There were some really great shots in this round. There was a really good attempt there to be able to get it. And of course, if I would have just, used a mulligan, I would have been able to do that, and I would have had a 3-star campaign on hole 10 with just one more attempt on that shot. We could have easily made the improvisation. So, it comes down to, just shot execution. Hopefully this is helping you guys progress. Good luck with your, progress. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck out there.